combinations, got those killing blows. As we know in Quake, it's very important to finish off your opponent.
And fantastic execution. Tim, 7 years since a championship. How does it feel?
Feels good. I was just trying to take the momentum from Sacrifice into Duel and just play, you know, the map control game as best I could, because I don't really want to fight Toxic toe-to-toe. So that was overall my strategy for all the maps. And sometimes it's Quake, so you still do have to hit shots too. Control's not enough. So luckily enough, I hit some good shots as well. So
now you talk about toe-to-toe, but how much of that was, you know, playing the position of the player that you can't actually see at that given moment? Of course, we had the nice privilege to have X-Ray on, but you had to be making those reads in real time.
Yeah, I mean, I basically don't want to take any even fights if possible. I just spam them out with rockets, maybe get lucky in a rail exchange, although, like, ideally I don't even want to do rail exchanges versus Toxic. But you do still have to play the game. You can't concede, you know, too much. So, and I don't know, just happy.
How much of it do you think came down to being able to remove that slash as that first champ?
Yeah, I think that's his most comfortable champ. And so as soon as he would get on like Nyx or Sorlag, like, I feel like even if we both were down a champ, maybe on paper I could be at a slight advantage. I mean, of course, there are other circumstances, what the hell's going on the map, but, you know, champ to champ, I think his slash is just out of this world, so eliminating that is key.
So we have this situation, right, where you've innovated the game really with the clutch. Like, your clutch is, I mean, that's really sort of what everybody's had to find an answer for in this tournament. Do you think the clutch and the way that you've developed that champion and the way that it plays in Duel here is this good, or is it that people, like, to some extent, are overreacting a little bit and playing out of their comfort zones? Like, how do you rate it?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think clutch is great. You have to be really patient with the shield and pick your moments, but I think some people don't realize the shield lasts 5 seconds, and 5 seconds in Duel is like an eternity sometimes. So it's like, you know, you're just staring at them with shield maybe 2-3 seconds and they're ready to start engaging. It's like, no, if I hit that one rocket, you're still dead. So it's like you want to kind of pop the shield and run generally. And but sometimes I can position myself so where, you know, they can't really run and they're just trapped. So, but yeah, I think it's a really tough champion to master. So I don't think, like, if clutch stays the way he is in terms of balance, I don't think it'll get too huge. I think it'll be, you know, a few players might use it, but I don't see like everybody using it.
That's something I mentioned to your credit, was that he is a very difficult champion to master, and if you don't play him well and you blow that shield, it can hurt you really bad, because he is the size of a house. But I got to ask on a more funny note, how'd you get an aimbot on your computer in the Atlanta environment? I mean, dude, you were on fire. Some of these shots you were hitting with, I'm sure even by your standards, you're like, I mean, you're hitting some flick rails that were just out of this world. But I got to give you a lot of credit for the reads. Can you talk about any patterns you picked up on Toxic, maybe some style things that he did that you can get a read on him?
It seems like if, you know, we're kind of just assessing back and forth, nothing big is happening for a period of time, maybe 45 seconds, a minute. It seems like he wants to put on that aggression. And I try to use that to my advantage, where either I'd be aware of where he's coming from and pre-fire a shot, or be positioned properly so I can, you know, bail myself out with invis. So that's the thing. I think he might be a little bit of impatience, and I don't know, like, I just knew playing the items, because that's like one of my biggest strengths, is just timing and controlling. I think I could just kind of wear them down over time. And
I think patience is an excellent word, especially for your play style. How do you keep yourself just so in the moment like that? Because in Quake Duel, it's so easy to get elevated, feel like you have to push, feel like you have to make a play, and all the time you just seem like you're just so calm and collected. I know there's probably more going underneath, but it just seems like you're very cool and collected. Do you do anything like to help, like, control nerves and maybe just keep yourself patient?
I mean, when the game starts, that's when it's the most nerve-wracking, but after like first 20 seconds, I mean, there's just no time to even think about anything except the game itself. So I mean, to speaking for myself, I wasn't like nervous or anything. It's just leading up to it, you know, the crowd, the stage, and all that. You know, you can't really help but get an increased heart rate. But yeah, I mean, when you kind of get sucked in, and you got to just stay so focused, and that's what I did.
So I have one more question, if I may.
Oh, absolutely. We don't get to do this every day.
Yeah, so this is, I think, really incredible for a lot of Quakers to have these opportunities to sort of come back and play Quake. And I think a lot of people never imagined that they could find themselves here again. Right. And obviously, in the past, you definitely would have felt like an absolute world-class jeweler, a champion. You know, you've been at that level, you've taken like big titles before, but you've also had troubles doing so and achieving perhaps some things that you maybe thought that you could have achieved. Sure. And then, you know, years on, did you ever think that you'd get another opportunity to do so? And like, how does that actually, like, what does that mean for you?
I mean, it means a lot. It's more of a sigh of relief than anything, because now it's all, you know, it's on the resume. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, I had a run in Overwatch for a bit. I didn't know about Quake Champions. I didn't learn about it till like the beginning of 20, or I don't even know. I can't put a date on it. But I was at the point where I was like, I don't think I'll be playing Quake again. I was probably gonna, you know, play Overwatch, trying to get in that league, and then, you know, go to real life if needed.
Well, I think real life can be put on hold for a little bit because, you know, of course, with a sacrifice win and now a duel win, you got a hefty chunk of that prize purse. So do you think you're going to take some time for the rest of 2017, or are you going to start practicing for the next one?
I've been grinding pretty hard, like, leading up to this event. So, I mean, unless someone wants to announce an event still this year, I'm going to take it easy, you know. But I'll definitely be gearing up for, you know, the next event, whenever that is.
Well, I think we're going to continue to see the evolution of the game. We're going to continue to see the evolution of everybody's playstyle. I think even over the past 6 months, we've seen so many changes, not only in the game, of course, it's very beta, but even for players like you who have been playing for years and years and years, we've seen like marked changes in how everything's been played. So I want to say congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's been a hell of a weekend, and Quake is finally back at DreamHack, and I think this is not the end of anything, certainly not the end of dahang's play, not the end of Toxic's play, not the end of anybody's play. This is just page one. I think we're going to come down to the saddest part of the weekend, actually, which is going to be our goodbyes. But
oh, no.
I want to say we'll see you next year, but I think we'll be seeing you much sooner than that as well. DDK, any final words yourself?
Play more Quake. Play as much Quake as possible. That's all I have to say.
I would just say great performance by all the players. Great performance by dahang, Team Liquid. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And a little shout out to Quake 2. Quake 2 players do it best. That's right.
BTF, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm more than happy to give you the final word, Tim.
I mean, just happy with my individual performance, and like equally as happy with the team performance and sacrifice, because you know, it's just good to you know have the hard work pay off, and appreciate you guys casting, all the crew and the organizers. I mean, that's all.
Couldn't have said it better myself, but I think with that, that'll be us signing out from DreamHack Winter 2017. We're going to go enjoy the rest of the festivities that are now available, and it's going to be well-earned dessert for us all. Good night, everybody.